Hi folks, it's Rich here. It's time for a Stagg review. Before we go on, just quickly, I'm a novice guitarist. Please note that. So I'm your everyday man. I've had 124 guitars, so I've got something to fall back on, really, to say why one is maybe better than another. Stagg have very kindly loaned me this guitar and two others of reviews which are coming up. I'm not paid for this. In fact, it cost me because I had to drive and pick them up. So it's just my honest review on whether or not these are, what I think about the guitar, really. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe and do a like. And there are about 45 other guitar reviews on the playlist, 45 others. So what have we got? Well, we've got an S-type. It's a Strat, isn't it, really? Stratty type guitar. It's an old body, a roasted maple neck with a really nice heel joint, as you can see here. Rosewood fingerboard, 21 medium frets. A new bone nut. A humbucker with a coil split. Doesn't tell us whether they're Alnico or ceramic pickups, so I'm guessing probably ceramic. 3.7 kilos, I weighed it. This feels fairly hefty. It's got a little teeny tiny cheap block in the back, as all the guitars at this kind of price point tend to have. What else can I tell you just from a get-go? The neck pocket joint is nice and tight, if that's important to you. I've played it standing up, there's no neck dive, which is good. The neck feels fairly chunky, really. I had a Harley Benton JA-60 and this neck feels like a carbon copy of that to me. So it's a modern C kind of feel, but it's chunkier rather than thinner, I'd say. The nut itself is cut reasonably well. In fact, I'd go a bit further than that. I'd say surprisingly well. It's not sharp on the heel. The frets, whilst not polished, certainly aren't dirty, which you do get a lot on, well, all sorts of guitars really, at various different price points. There are no sharp fret ends either. The setup out of the box, as with lots of guitars, action was a little bit high for me. I like it pretty low. The Stagg logo. One interesting thing that Stagg have done, and I mentioned this in one of my previous Stagg videos on one of their pull type copies. I'm sure they're not ashamed of the brand, quite the opposite. They've been around a long time and I'm sure they're very proud of the brand, but they're also aware that, oh stop, what are you doing? That in the budget space, well, not just the budget space, but in life, aren't we? We're all conditioned by brands. What brand of car have you got? What brand of phone have you got? What brands of everything really? And guitars are no different. Look at the wood grain on this, lovely. So I guess Stagg have probably said, oh, do you know what? We're going to relaunch and do loads of new models. Let's have a bit more of a subtle logo on here. And actually, Paolo from EMD, who own Stagg, has said that apparently people in shops have just been picking these up, not recognising the logo, not noticing it necessarily on the back of the headstock. I certainly didn't on the Les Paul type when I tried. I had as well, and liking them. So it's sort of getting them around the, we've got a budget guitar, if you like. These cost, you have a look on eBay, some power sellers are doing them for about 160. I think their RRP is 220. So they're good value as well. So I'll still my amp up a little bit. I've got a Vox AV15 amp. This is on the clean channel. And we'll just have a quick run through a few tones. Is that loud enough? Maybe not. I don't want to put the volume up too much on the guitar itself because I don't want it to sound crunchy or overdriven in any way. This is a trem guitar, obviously. I haven't got the arm for it. The bridge is wedged down, as they often are on these budget guitars, and I probably wouldn't want to use the trem. Mind you, you've got a bone, you've got a new bone nut, that probably help with tuning stability, but yeah, was a bit sceptical on trying to keep tune with cheaper trem systems. The tuning pegs, incidentally, they feel very much like an entry-level kind of, no, not an entry-level, like a Squier Affinity. They're okay. On the neck. Position 4. Middle. These all sound exactly as you'd expect them to sound. I've currently got a classic vibe 70 Strat, which has Alnico 5 pickups in it. That particular Strat sounds super vintage. Every position sounds exactly, to my mind, how a Strat should, you know, a vintage kind of Strat should sound. I'd say this sounds a bit more modern. Position 2. This position 2 sounds quite different, I guess because you've got the humbucker with it. Incidentally, on the amp, no reverb, no delay, no nothing, just proper clean. The humbucker. One thing I like about the humbucker actually is it seems well balanced. So, you know, I've gone from middle position here, humbucker. Yes, it's louder and bitier, but the volume doesn't just go straight up. Like, partly the setup perhaps as well, but anyway, let's split that now and see what we get. Doesn't sound excessively thin either, so that's split. Put the some overdrive on. Got a little bit out of tune. Split that. Back to the neck. short demo sounds. My impression of this is, for the money, I think it's great. I really do. And it's a nice alternative. I mean, block inlays on a Strat style guitar, I think it's really cool. It looks super pretty as well. The build quality seems as good as anything at the price point, and you've got some, you know, much more premium features you just wouldn't get on a Squier. The fretboard, whilst it's rosewood, I don't know what kind of grades there are of the rosewood. It's not the prettiest rosewood fretboard I've seen, and it probably needs a bit of an oil, but that's only a tiny thing. The pickups, I would say, are okay, and I have played this a fair bit more than this little demo. They're not, it's great having the humbucker as an option. I would say that they don't handle overdriven tones massively well. The humbucker's not too bad. I think they just sound a bit, I don't know, muddy's a bit wrong. They're just not mega clear. They get a bit lost in themselves somehow. And I was just trying to think, when I've had my Squier bullets and affinities, what they have been like, and I would say that they are, I guess better is the wrong word, isn't it? I'm at pains here. It depends what you like. These kind of get a bit broken up and a little bit fuzzy sounding when you really give them some overdrive. On sort of clean and just a bit crunchy channel, they sound great. They sound like a modern Strat style guitar. So if it was just about the pickups alone and nothing else, I think I would probably prefer one of the Squiers to it. But like I say, that's just an opinion and on what I feel about it. As for the overall value for money and what you're getting here, it's a fantastic guitar, and I wouldn't hesitate in going out and trying one of these as an alternative to the usual suspects, especially if you like the look of it, which I really do. I mean, you can't get that in a Squier, can you? You certainly can't get those specs either. So yeah, SES-60 this is. So it's a thumbs up to Squier. Do I recommend it? For sure. Go and have a look at it. It's a proper alternative, and you've got a really nice guitar here. So my only tiny gripe really is, if you're really into playing some sort of overdriven sort of stuff, the pickups, certainly with my amp and what I've done, haven't handled it quite as well as some of the Squiers that I have had. But that is all. Otherwise, it's a great guitar. Thank you. Bye all. Bye bye.